Hi to my gentle stretching family. I'm very happy on this day. We're going to do something very calm, very relaxing. If you prefer gentle yoga, things that feel good, they're slow, it's gentle, but you still have a little bit of that edge. You still feel your muscles stretching. That's what we're going for today. So I do want to remind you that you have the option to use essential oils during your practice. You have the option of, setting music if you want during your practice. I'm not allowed to, or else it just causes a lot of limits on the video. But if you want to set the tone, set some nice lights up, set some music, set the vibes, do it. You're more than welcome to join. And I do want to recommend some props for today. If you are practicing with me today, you're more than welcome to grab some belts. You can also grab this is just a yoga mat strap. So you're more than welcome to grab straps or a belt, whatever can help you get into the practice a little deeper. And then I also highly recommend having some blocks with you today. That can be really helpful. This is also really beginner friendly. So if yoga sometimes scares you, this is going to be really gentle on the body. I am going to set the tone for myself, place some essential oils, and we are definitely going one posture to the other. It's very fluid. By the way, my name is Anik, if you haven't seen me before. And these pillows are what I'm using instead of blocks today. I never have blocks at home. I always just have them in my gyms. So you can always find different substitutes. There's always something out there you can use in your home. We will be starting on our backs today in Supine Baddha Konasana, lowering down onto the spine. So even if you don't have a mat, you can do this on your bed. It's super comfy. You can place pillows beneath your knees. Have your strap by your side for when we get to those poses. But for now, we're just tucking the tailbone under, trying to make sure that our back is as close to the floor as possible. And let's place one hand over the heart, the other over the belly. Maybe elongating the neck a little bit more, tucking the chin slightly in towards the chest. Taking a moment to be still, especially at the beginning of our class, separating what we did in the rest of the day versus what we're about to do. The yoga style that we're doing today, which is restorative yoga, is really meant to relax the nervous system, but a little differently from yin yoga. Restorative yoga is still hitting some sort of challenge. You're still feeling an edge. You're still stretching out muscles, whereas yin yoga is really just allowing the weight of the body to pull you down towards the floor. It's more about relaxing the whole body, whereas restorative, we're still out here trying to stretch, trying to get deep into our muscles, finding a bit more of an edge. So say if this position is really simple for you, your hips are really open, maybe you have really flexible hips, you can move the pillows out from the sides, or if you had blocks, you can get rid of pillows, just let your knees dangle on the sides here. Maybe you start to feel the hips open up even more, keeping the soles of the feet together. Once again, taking some deep breaths. If you notice that your breath is a little shallow, as in your inhales and exhales are typically pretty short, I recommend that you count. So counting to 5 on the inhale, and counting to 7 for the exhale. Once again, counting to 5 for the inhale. Exhaling for 7. Continue on your own, just like that, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 7. As we do this, we may feel some tension in certain parts of the body, and that is our goal. We're trying to notice what is going on physically with our body during yoga, and instead of judging that feeling or that observation, instead we're accepting it. Once you accept what is going on in the body and you become one with it, you're able to use it as an opportunity to work on yourself. Maybe breathing a little deeper, maybe sending that body part a little bit more love than you're used to doing. And also, certain body parts and organs are related to emotions. So if you notice that certain organs, especially, for example, the chest, if you're feeling the chest, it has pressure, it could be stress, it could be anxiety, it could be fear of opening up vulnerably with your heart. It goes pretty deep. So just observing what's going on is a really beautiful start to understand yourself a little deeper. We're going to move on to the next posture, where we'll get the chance to observe ourselves during the whole practice. When you're ready, bring your hands each side of your hips. We're going to bring the knees up, and we're going to swivel the feet, heel toe the feet out to the side. Toes go in, heels go out, kind of like a duck. It's a little awkward, it's inward. And then the knees are going to go in towards each other. So for this, my knees are not touching yet. So I'm going to heel toe my feet a little closer so that my knees can touch each other. They're coming in, they're supporting each other. And what I personally do in this practice is I tuck my tailbone even more because my lower back naturally arches. So that way my back can come a little closer towards the ground. My back can create some deeper alignment, create some more space for the lower back. You can keep your hands by your sides, just like this, palms facing up or palms facing down. I definitely also want to offer the opportunity to place your hands over your heart and your belly once again. Staying there, tucking your chin in towards the chest, noticing the sensation. We're definitely allowing the lower spine to pull slightly. And once again, taking deep breaths. You can count Mississippis if that helps you stay focused. You can notice the path of the breath, the oxygen coming in through the nose, through the neck, through the lungs, the chest, all the way down to the pit of the belly, feeling the whole body expand on the inhale, feeling the body decompress on the exhale. Continue just like that, trying to keep a steady and constant breath. Relax the face and the jaw. These are one of the easiest postures of our class today. So take this opportunity to fully enjoy the calmness, the simplicity of this posture. Go ahead and open up your eyes if you had them closed. We're going to bring our knees in towards our chest. Wrap your arms around. Gently sway side to side, allowing for a little massage on the lower back. And curl in, nose towards your knees. Lower the head down, and we're going to go for a happy baby, this time placing the hands on the outside of the edges of the feet. On the outside of the feet here, kind of grabbing onto our feet like hamburgers. And then we're pulling the knees in towards the armpits, flexing the feet. Option to rock side to side, make it playful. Maybe extending your legs out to the side one at a time, or both at the same time. Depends on your flexibility and vulnerability during the practice. Vulnerability is also a strength, but sometimes we just need to be a little nicer to ourselves. So if you don't feel like doing certain postures, you really don't have to. Do whatever feels right to you today. And we'll bring our knees in towards each other, nose towards the knees again. And we'll be placing our right leg over the left knee for a number 4. You can grab the back of your leg here, or you can use your handy dandy strap or mat strap or belt if you have one. You can place it behind the left knee and pull in just like that. You can also place it in front of the knee. This is called a supported pigeon posture. We're starting out slow, but the whole point is you should be feeling an edge. You still should be feeling a little bit of a stretch. So if this is too easy with the strap, I recommend using just your hands. Let me just move this pillow out to the side so you guys can see. So maybe starting here in the back of the leg or in front of the knee. But I really highly recommend that if you do grab with your hands, make sure that your head or your upper spine, like your shoulders, do not lift up off the floor. If they do, go one step before. Because we still want our bodies to relax, our nervous system to relax, and if your head lifts up, you're engaging a little bit too much for this practice. Deep breaths in. And these are really, really great. I mean, I do this in bed. You can do it in the morning. This posture specifically is great for those who, work in an office or at a chair very often. Sometimes if you're rounding your back very often throughout the days, this posture can help alleviate some of that tension or that stress. From there, all I want you to do is release your hands, and just how your right leg is over your left, you're going to fully wrap it around, and you're going to extend your arms in a T. Drop the legs over to the left side and gaze over to the right. So if your knees are to the left, your gaze is towards the right. And I'll move this way a little bit more so you can see my whole body. And if fully intertwining your legs is too much, you can just simply leave them like this and then twist. Or you can even just stack your knees one over the other if it's too much. You can always also use a pillow between your knees and go for the twist. Whatever variation you like, go ahead. As we're going through here, I also would love to give the option of placing your left hand on your left knee to apply a little bit of pressure, let the weight of your hand pull your body a little further down. And in doing that, take note of the right shoulder. Naturally it lifts up off the ground, but try to use your mind power to gently relax those muscles around the shoulder, around the inside of the arm, so you can gently fall closer towards the floor. Your upper body is basically in this corkscrew twist. Keep breathing. Once again, relax the forehead, relax the jaw. Two more breaths on your own. And gently release your hand, bring your knees back to center, untwine and undo your legs. And then bring your knees in towards your nose. Reestablishing ourselves. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So this time placing the left leg over the right for supported pigeon. Once again, option to place the hands behind the thigh, in front of the knee, maybe using a strap, behind the thigh or in front of the knee once again, and just pulling in. You should be feeling the stretch in the left leg or the left glute, maybe the inside of the leg as well, like the hamstring. So we're still trying to get to that edge, feeling the stretch or the pull of muscles. Not lifting the shoulders up off the floor. Deep breaths. It's really interesting to notice the difference of our breathing, like how easy our breath flows through our body in different positions. So just notice how you feel breathing in this position. Like, is the air getting a little shallow in this one versus the next one that we're going to do? And that kind of helps you notice more about your physical body rather than just at the beginning of class when you start breathing. Actually noticing the difference of how you're holding on to your breath during the postures is something that I think most people don't notice. So we'll go into the next one and you'll notice the difference in breathing. Release the bind. Once again, we're gonna wrap our legs, stand our arms in a T. I like to hop my hip to the opposite side of the knees so that my spine can stay straight as I lower down into this spinal twist. So if your knees fall over to the right side, you're going to gaze to the left, maybe option to close down the eyes, option to place your hands on your right hand on your knees. You're also welcome to just stack your legs once again like that. Maybe placing a pillow between the knees or under the knees if the twist is too much. Make this practice your own. And once again, check in with your breath. Notice, how does it feel to breathe in this position versus the last one? Is it flowing just as easily? Is your shoulder lifted up a little higher this time or a little lower? When I say shoulder, I mean the left shoulder, the arm that's extended out to the side. Option to close down the eyes. And release your hand from your knees if you had it on there. Bring your knees to center. Untwist your legs. Oh my goodness, that word was a little weird for me today. And nose towards your knees. Relax your head back down. Gently sway side to side. Maybe move back into happy baby if that feels right. We just did a lot of work on our spines and our hips. And that was done for a reason. We're going to go a little deeper in these next postures. So eventually you're going to fall over to one side and gently move into a child's pose on your knees. Drop the forehead down. You're welcome to wrap your arms towards the back, maybe grabbing the ankles or the heels. Then I welcome you to move your forehead a little higher up. That helps extend the spine and the neck a little bit more. Forget about what it looks like rather than what it feels like. Inhale, rise up onto your knees. We're going to separate our knees here. So pretty wide. And then you can go ahead and walk the hands back down. It's going to feel different into the hips. Maybe you feel more of the groin area, stretching out that area. Maybe you feel it more in the hips. Maybe you feel it in the lower spine. You can lower down either on the chin or on the forehead. You can always have a pillow underneath you if that feels better. There's lots of options. From here, we're going to do another shoulder stretch, going for a thread the needle. So we're going to extend the right arm all the way up. Exhale, thread it under the left arm, lower down onto the right ear. Option to keep that left hand overhead or wrap it behind your back, maybe between your thigh and your belly. Maybe you just keep it behind your back. But really allow the weight of your body onto the shoulder. You should feel a stretch. You should not feel any pain. There's that difference of just discomfort and pain. A lot of times I notice that our society, okay, I'm going to go on a little rant here, but it has meaning. So I notice that our society is just so used to doing things in the easiest way possible. And we kind of lose a bit of discipline. We struggle less. Things are much more easier to have or to get, or, we don't work as hard towards things versus, back in the day, maybe 50, 100 years ago. Let's switch arms and I'll continue my rant. So left arm overhead, extend the right arm in front, and then same thing with the other side. Lift the left arm up, exhale, thread it under the right, lower down to left ear, right hand behind your back or between your left hip. So back to the rant. A lot of times we just go for the easy things. So sometimes feeling discomfort in our bodies, especially during yoga, during exercise, during workouts, it can kind of feel, can take you out of the sorts. And being more and more comfortable with discomfort in a healthy way is really important for a healthy balance. And I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves to do things that somewhat shock the body. For example, yoga, we're stretching out body parts and getting deeper into our tissues because literally our issues are in our tissues. Our emotions get manifested into our body. It's really important that we become aware of that instead of ignore it. Maybe doing things like cold showers or cold plunges. Like that's the type of discomfort I'm talking about. All right, I finished my rant. Let's go. Next one. Hands back to the top of the mat. Lower back down, child's pose. And we'll walk our hands towards our knees. We're going to go up onto our knees. First thing to do is be on our knees. We want to push our hips forward, but we're not engaging our glutes too much. Like it's not going to be a ridiculous amount of engagement, but we want to make sure that we're not like arching our back, like pushing our hips back. From there, we're going to bring our right leg out to the side. So what that looks like is just like that. From there, you can kind of play with the position, go side to side. You'll feel the inside of the leg. You can even push your hips forward. Feel the sensation of the left thigh. Just getting a moment to maybe take any kinks out of the body. Something I like to do is extend my leg and just slightly lower my hips down. Sometimes it pops some muscles that are kind of tight. So that was just kind of warm up that spot. From there, I'm going to move back here. First option is, if you have blocks, you're more than welcome to have them back behind you, like right here, for example. If not, we're going to go directly into that first one with our hand. So left hand towards the left heel or the ankle. As we do this, remember to push your hips forward, open the chest. You can keep your right hand on your thigh, on your hip, or you can reach it overhead, maybe dropping the head back. Keep pushing the hips forward. And gently rise back up. Woo! Little harder than we thought, huh? All right, we're going to go again. We're going to do it 3 more times. Dropping down onto the heel or onto a block. Opening the chest, maybe lifting the arm overhead. You can also use a strap if that's easier for you, if this is definitely something you've never tried before, if it's a lot on your leg. For example, you could try something simple like that. And just starting out very slow. All right, 3rd time. This time we're going to go for the opposite hand. So left hand, left ankle. Right hand, left ankle. Oh my goodness. Notice the sensation. Remember, keep pushing the hips forward. That's going to stretch out the left thigh. So once again, once you have it, extend the left arm overhead, drop the head back. And rise back up. Woo! We're going to go for the other side before going into our full camel position. So extending, once again, the leg out to the side. Can play with the legs for a moment. Maybe pushing your hips forward. Maybe dropping down. Or kind of helping the joints of the hips here to secrete some healthy liquids and hormones and all that good stuff. All right. Once we have it, so once again, remember I didn't mention this, but your knee should be in line with your hip, so it's not too much in front. It's right to the side. We're going to do the same hand, same ankle. When you're ready, push those hips forward, drop the hand down, left arm overhead, push the hips forward. Drop the head as much as you feel comfortable. And rise back up. Notice the difference on this side. Sometimes we're more flexible on one side than the other, and that's super normal. All right, we're going to go for the same thing. Same hand, same ankle or heel. Lifting the left arm overhead. Engaging your glutes slightly. And then rising back up. Last time. Once again, this time, you're doing the opposite hand, opposite ankle, left hand, right ankle or heel. Go ahead. You can also have a block here if that's a lot for you. Another option now, if you don't have a block, you can use a wall and use that as, a start and kind of walk your hand down. So that's if you don't have a block or something steady available for you. Let's go for it. So grab all the way back, push your hips forward, opening up that right hamstring or thigh, reaching the right arm overhead, drop the head back. Keep breathing. And rise up. Lower down onto your knees. Take a moment to shake your leg out. And we're going to go for one of the final postures of the day. Ready? I felt it in my thighs. All right, so for this opportunity, you can just, first variation, if this is a lot for you guys, if this is your first time doing camel, clasp your fingers together, pull them down towards the floor, open the chest, push your hips forward, and then allow your head to fall back. So that's one. Another one is placing your hands on your lower back, opening your shoulders, elbows towards each other, then pushing the hips forward, letting the head fall back. That is another variation. Another one is lowering down onto the heels, and then opening the chest. This is the full camel position. I love to apply some pressure on the soles of my feet. That helps to stimulate some really great endorphins. And for me, it helps sustain and overcome discomforts. When you're ready, rise back up. Woo! We're going to go again. This time I want to offer a deeper stretch if that's accessible to you or you want that challenge. So go ahead, use those first variations, those first options if you want. If not, reaching the arms overhead, you're going to push your hips forward and then drop the head and the arms back. So I'm just going to... So it's really important that the knees stay under the hips. If they're too close together, it can really impede and limit your range of motion. So this last variation goes as this. So that last one, you can have your hands on the mat, or you can go and grab the ankles. So we're going to go one more time, I promise, and then we're calling it quits and calming down the body. But we're still, feeling that sensation of pulling the thighs here. Go ahead, last time, whichever you liked. Open up the chest, drop the head back. Uncurl, lower down onto the hips. I like to place my hands on my thighs here. And what I do is I'm pushing my hips and my legs away, and then I'm stretching out my back, my lower spine. So as I'm pushing my lower body down, my upper spine is extending up. And then I like to rock side to side. Phew. Beautiful. Okay, last thing we're going to do, it involves stretching out the legs. You can have a pillow or a block under your hips here to start, especially if you have potentially some knee issues, some limitations there. Just staying here, applying pressure into the soles of your feet with your thumbs, opening the shoulders, opening the chest, tucking your chin slightly in towards your chest so your spine can stay straight. But it's really important that the knees touch. The knees are twins. They never separate. All right, from there, if it's accessible to you, you can lower down fully onto the floor without a pillow. So once your tailbone touches the floor, you can either stay there or go a little deeper. I'm just going to move this way so I can go all the way down. From there, you can place your hands on the floor behind you, open the chest, let your head fall back. Keep those knees touching. And then to go a little further into what we called hero's pose, we're going to lower down onto the elbows. I'm giving all types of variations here. So just go with whatever is right for you. Keep those knees touching. If that's simple for you, you can go a little further down. Keep tucking the tailbone underneath. Lower down onto the back. Potentially still applying pressure in the soles of your feet. Knees still touching. The knee should be on the floor. If not, go to the variation before. And if this is good for you, you can always reach your arms overhead. Maybe grab your elbows. Kind of play with this variation. We're stretching out the knees, the thighs. The shins a bit, even the ankles. And now slowly come right back up onto the elbows, onto the hands. Slowly moving into a tabletop position. And eventually onto our bellies, onto one ear of your choice. Palms facing up or down, it's up to you. Into this supine, or not supine, onto our belly for Shavasana. We're just going to do this shortly because we're probably towards the limit of our class today. You did amazing. Notice how your body feels right now versus at the beginning of the class. And we'll switch ears. I'm not going all the way onto my ears so that you guys can still hear me through my AirPods, but really allow the weight to be on your ears. And we want our necks to be in line with our spines, fully straight from the crown of your head down towards your toes. Returning back to the breath, maybe feeling the spine, the diaphragm contrast. Maybe you're feeling the body grow on that inhale and decompress on the exhale. Gaze right in front. We're going to place our hands by our sides on each side of the chest. Inhale gently. You can stay in cobra or you can lift the knees and hips up off the floor for a full up dog. And exhale, down dog. Walk out your legs, your feet. Maybe the hips go side to side. And lowering back down onto the knees. Voila, c'était tout. That was it. I hope you enjoyed it. These were restorative postures. The end was more of the edgy part rather than restorative, especially for the camel. But it's really limited to your body's range of motion. So if just keeping your hands behind your hip felt the best for you, that's optional or amazing option for you that you can use for your own practice, maybe between work, maybe between school, whatever you have going on in your life. You can use all of these tools to kind of ground yourself, to help stretch out your body, especially if you're sore, especially if maybe you want to calm the nervous system, even the hormonal system. All of these are really, really great practices for your everyday or weekly life. And with that, I am so grateful to have practiced with you, to have been even a short moment of your day. And that is it for today. I hope you liked it.